edge of the world, telling stories of black kings and queens.
It's Utah, baby.
Every topic, every voice, like a new kind of pearl. Shining light on truths to make the future swirl. It's real talk, baby. El Frank and Shy Blue coming through, baby. Real topics, real stuff for the people, baby. Buckle up and let's roll with real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. And it ain't no me without you, baby. It's you talk, baby. And it ain't no me without you, baby. From the heart of the city to the edge of the world.
It's Utah, baby.
Black kings and queens, but both that I'm from. Every time we carry.
Hey,
Hey.
whoa, we back.
What's up, bro? What's up? We're definitely back.
We
We're
are
definitely back.
Sis, what's going on? How you doing tonight, sis?
So much. My son has officially went to prom. Next week it's graduation. Like, time is just going by so fast. I'm so excited. I have so many different emotions. I'm sad. I'm happy. I'm relieved. Like, I've never been through these emotions before. So it's like, well, I have with my oldest son, but then it's like, this is my last one. Like, my house is about to be empty. I'm about to be like with my dog, and I miss my baby. He's going to the Air Force.
Oh yeah. You're gonna there's gonna be some emotions to tie it in with that, but it's definitely you're gonna be all good. You're gonna be all good. You're gonna be all good. But you ready to rock and roll?
I am. Let's go.
Let's get it. Well, you talk family, real talk family. What's going on? Y'all know what time it is. It's another episode of Real Talk.
Yes.
Your boy LFJ Larry Frank Jr. with my sis Miss Shy Blue riding shotgun, and y'all know how we start every show.
Yes.
It ain't no us
without you, baby.
Oh yeah. Real talk family, what's going on? Listen, we got to get to the usual business at hand as we always do. Got to get to the business at hand. So let me go ahead on and go through these shout outs, and then we're going to get it popping. As always, first shout out of the night has to go to the boss. I got to add boss to everything. He's already the man, the myth, the legend, and everything else. So I got to go to the boss.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead on and get him together with that. And hey, D, shouts out to you, my brother, Devin Lloyd, the proprietor and the creator of Utah.
We love you.
Real talk, much love to you, bro. Thank you for all you do. Second shout out of the night has to go to the man that keeps all of the metrics in order, everything working, the technicals. Like I said, without him, none of this will work out good
at all.
Another OG in this whole Real Talk, You Talk thing, man. Our guy, the super producer, Mr. Marquise Judge, aka King Judge KJ Productions, is in the building. Shouts out, Marquise.
Hey, Marquise.
Much love, brother. Third shout out of the night always has to go to the man behind the merchandise. And I'm gonna say something, man. This dude right here, man, for those who don't know, he's one of the hardest working brothers, just doing it all. I mean, when I tell you, merchandise, I'm talking hats, cups, wrapping cars. Me and him had a conversation the other day. He was telling me about how he wraps cars, and he had a couple of cars he's trying to do.
Really?
But, this brother just does it all, man.
Well, every time I call him, he's working. I've never seen him just chilling or relaxing. I mean, it doesn't matter what time. It could be 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock. He is always working. So
yes,
I agree.
Absolutely, man. But that's just a testament to his character and how great of a person he is, and an asset to us. Our guy, the one and only Joseph Bernard, a man of many names, because he's Joseph Bernard. That's his government name. But we also know him as B-Nod. That's what he's known as in the chat. I call him JB because he's basically like a boss. And of course, the little inside joke we got over to Wakefield Bernard, aka Living Single. Joseph Bernard, shouts out to you, my brother, as always.
Tickles me. I don't know. When you say that, it always tickles me.
Yeah. fourth shout out of the night, as always, has to go to the live viewing audience that we have right now. Everybody that's over on TikTok and the other social media outlets, because we are simulcasting, streaming this thing live amongst so many different social media platforms. So if you're taking your time out to watch us right now, we thank you. And then on the rewatch, if you come back and watch us on the rewatch, we also want to thank you as well, because you're spending your precious time with us, and you don't have to do that. So shouts out to everybody in the viewing audience all across.
Thank you so much, guys. We love you so much. Definitely
much love, much love. And as always, can't give my shout outs without giving the final shout out. As always, got to go to you, Lil Sis, my co-host. You. Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
All the time. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for what you bring to the show and the energy and everything, and much appreciation.
Thank you. And I appreciate you too, bro. I can't do it without you.
Absolutely appreciate. Oh, thank you. And one more thing, I got to get it out. It just hit me. I want to send special prayers up to Devin's mom. She's always in the chat. She's always showing us love. Miss Linda. Yeah. She had a medical event over the weekend.
Oh no.
She did. She's doing fine. She's doing good.
Okay. Well, that's good. Thank God.
But definitely, we want to make sure we send our prayers out to Miss Linda. That's my bonus mom. So Miss Linda, I know you're watching at home. I don't know if you'll be in the chat tonight, but I know you will see it. Miss Linda, prayers to you, and we love you. Get better, sending healing energy your way.
Absolutely.
So, sis, before we get into the topic, I gotta ask, how you been? It's been a couple of weeks. What's been going on? I know you hinted at everything with the graduation. I had to deal with my son graduating college, but other than that, all of that, how you been? What's happening?
I've been good. Like I said, I just started my job, so it's like the first month and a half. I'm not gonna fake with you. It's been a shit show, and I'm just coming in trying to fix everything. So I'm like being stretched in all directions, but I kind of adapt. But I do adapt very well into like organized chaos. I guess you could say that. Like it's very chaotic, but that's where I show my talents the most. So I'm definitely up for the challenge. It's been long hours, early mornings, but that's what I was built for. So, I mean, I'm doing my thing. I was on the news the day before yesterday.
Really?
Yes, I was. Well, down here in Florida, it's Fox 13, but they were just talking about like underage drinking. Because at my job, I work at Ybor. Like, you know what Ybor is, I think, right? You know what Ybor is?
Nah, school me.
Ybor is like basically a lot of young adults and middle-aged people are there, but a lot of college kids are there too. It's just a strip of bars, cigar lounges. It's lit on the weekends, So they had previously a lot of like violence and just a lot of drinking with younger minors. They basically had a lot of minors drinking. So the newscast was out there to see like, what are we doing specifically, Fat Tuesdays and other bars? What are we doing to control that and to basically have an eye on those type of things? So she interviewed me. She interviewed my security guard because we use like an ID scanner.
Yeah.
And it's like top of the line, like the best you will ever find. So she just interviewed me about that. But I was excited because I went like up the street from my job to grab something to eat. He was like, "Oh, I seen you on the news last night." That was my little moment. So yeah. But then I got an email from my boss saying, "You're not supposed to be doing media because it's corporate." But it was too late. I was already out there. Like, it's all good.
I had a similar thing. Right. I had a similar thing happen a couple of months back where I'm at. They built a brand new bridge and they're charging a toll. And I was going to get some coffee and some fuel. And the news people just caught me going into the truck stop. And they say, "Hey, can we talk to you?" I'm like, "What do you want?" Because I didn't realize they were news people. And
right.
They just started interviewing me, and I'm low key. I don't never like Devin. Anybody that knows me, they'll tell you I'm low key, and I didn't really tell nobody nothing because I wasn't really worried about it. But people, my mama saw me. They called my mama and told my mama I was on television, so she got mad because I didn't call her and tell her. And then people that work with my wife, they told her, "Oh, Larry's a superstar now. We saw him on the." So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so that was exciting. That was like the highlight of my week.
Right.
I bought my son a new car for graduation. So
all right.
Yeah. So we're doing little big things over here, and
That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
but it's
That's
all
what's
good.
up.
How about you? What's been going on with you?
More of the same. More of the same. I had a couple
Mhm.
of weddings. Had my
Oh, that's
son's
a good
college
thing.
graduation. Yeah, my son's college graduation. He graduated last Friday from Southern. Next day, my
Really?
sister-in-law, yeah, she got married. And then I had a good buddy of mine that we come out of kindergarten together, and we went our separate ways, went to separate high schools. But
Uh-huh.
he got married, so I had 2 weddings in a row. So yeah, I just been
That's
working and
good.
enjoying life.
I love
Absolutely.
to hear that because you don't hear people go to weddings anymore. Like it's always
Right.
funerals or something like that. So I love, love, love to hear you went to a wedding because I love love. So
Right.
that's good.
Yep.
That's what's
Yep.
up.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So
Okay.
uh you ready? Because I think this is gonna be another one of them shows coming off of the heels of what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. I think this is gonna really be a
Okay.
hot topic tonight. So you
So
ready, sis?
what we got? What we got? I'm always ready. I stay ready.
Yeah, I know, I know. we're we did the boxing gloves always ready to come on.
Always.
We're talking about in the wake of the Shiloh Hendricks. Everybody, I think by now knows what happened.
Hmm.
And right on cue, right here in the chat. Wake of the Shiloh Hendricks situation, in which she called that child, that 5-year-old child, that slur. Right after the topic of Black fatigue came up, and it was all over social media. So we're going to
Okay.
be talking about that tonight. Real quick, I also want to say to our viewing audience over on TikTok, before we get into it, if you want to partake in the live discussion over here on YouTube, the link has been posted over on TikTok. So go ahead, copy and paste that link, and then you can hit it and you can come over here live, where you can join live into the discussion.
Paste it.
You also can have the TikTok discussion over there, but if you really want to, directly with us, you want to bring it over here to YouTube as possible. So I just
Absolutely.
had to get that out there. So yeah, we're talking about Black fatigue. We're talking about Black fatigue and what it's about. What's up,
So
B
I
Nod?
so I really want to know what Black fatigue really is as well, because maybe I missed something, but what is it?
I think it's been misconstrued, because I think to a certain extent, a certain
Mhm.
standard, I think we all have a level of Black fatigue, because when you and speaking as a Black person, when
Yeah.
you get to a point in life where you get tired of the ratchetness, the hood, the unprofessionalism, the ghetto
Hmm.
behavior,
Yeah.
you get Black fatigue, you know.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't even call it. I shouldn't even call it Black fatigue, because Black people don't act like that. I hate. I don't want to use that word, but
Okay.
is their N word fatigue? That's what it is to me. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That to
Yeah.
me, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But as of late, in the wake of the Shiloh Hendricks situation, let me put a disclaimer out here. I don't want this to be like this is all whites, because this is not all white people. Because I got some great white people. I know you got some great
Oh,
ones. We
absolutely.
all do, but they understand where we coming from. They understand our plight, our situation, our history. They rock with us. So this
Hmm.
is not for you all if you're on our side and you understand and you rock with us. This is going to be more towards them racist ones that really don't like us. This is who this show is for. So I want to make sure I get that disclaimer out, because I don't
Okay.
want it nothing to get misconstrued. But what I've been seeing and what's been going on, you have a lot of these racist ones.
Okay.
They're using Black fatigue as a mask to hide their racism, and they're trying to act like they're complaining about everything, when in fact it's actually their racism that's coming out. Case point,
Mm.
the lady that this all came out on, one of the things that she said was victim mentality. Well,
Hmm.
you already know when it comes down to that. You look and sound so professional. Deserve thank you, we appreciate. I know. Yeah, we know who he's talking about. Appreciate you, ready, steady, go. But the lady that put that initial video out,
Hmm.
she used it as a preface of, when she said that the victim mentality. And when you find racist people talking about us using the victim mentality, they basically don't want to hear us voice our concerns. They don't want to hear us voice our displeasure with this current society. They
Yeah.
want us to just shut up and accept whatever mistreatment that we get as a people.
Yeah.
And the last couple of generations, our parents and grandparents, they were in a position where they couldn't really talk like they wanted because that was a different time. You
Yeah.
didn't have social media back then. And let's just be honest, there was a lot of violence going on back then that they couldn't overcome. It's
Mhm.
just basically, I hate to say it because I don't want to be disrespectful to our ancestors, but let's
No.
call it what it is. They
Yeah.
had to somewhat, quote unquote, stay in their place.
Yeah.
But you're
Absolutely.
dealing with you're dealing with a different generation, the FAFO,
Mhm.
fuck around and find out generation, and we
Right.
don't care no
Right.
more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'ma just it is what it is. It is
But
what
I
it is.
feel like in a lot of cases, the fatigue is starting to turn into anger. And then the anger turns into violence. And then that's why we see a lot of situations on the news and people reacting to certain things because we are tired, you know.
Yeah.
I have gone through how can I say it, like silent racism. You know, it was by even a lot. I've worked in the corporate lifestyle for a while, and dealt with a lot of racism at work. You know, but it was in a way where it wasn't directed to me verbally. You know,
Hmm.
it was the way they would go about certain things, sarcasm, and it was just a lot through email, but in a professional way. Because there's different ways to be racist, but certain people, they've been doing it for so long, they
Right.
know how to kind of try to get away with it without it being really directed to them, if that
Yeah.
makes sense, you know. And I've been
Yeah.
tired. I'm tired as well. I'm very, very tired. And that fatigue, I definitely understand completely. But it's like, what do we do with that energy too? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we do when
Yeah.
we're tired? Do we turn the other way? Do we turn our cheek? You know, and I think that's where a lot of people are getting like, what do we do now that we're tired?
That's a good question. That's a
You
doggone good
know?
question because I know I get to the point where when I go out in public, you know, just yesterday I went to Walmart and
Yeah.
I'm going into the store and little young brother, you know, had to be 19, 20 years old that works there. He comes out the store and he just starts rapping and doing all of this stuff, cussing and all of that. And you got people of other cultures with their kids, with their babies,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what can you say, you know, in a
Right.
case like
Right.
that, you know? Um, I want to get to this point right here. Camera footage by They Did. He says camera footage has not worked in melanated people's favor. That is true.
So
You
much.
know, you
Right.
cannot, you know, the thing about it is we just have to be honest. We're living in a world in a society where I hate to say it, but the facts are the facts. It's a different set of rules. You know, it's
Yeah.
a different set of
Yeah.
rules for us as it is for everybody else. And with the rules, it's a different justice system.
Mhm. Mhm.
It is what it is. So real
Yeah.
quick, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead on and then put the link up.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to come on, we're gonna get to these comments. But anybody that wants to come on, the link is up. Go ahead on, click that link. We'll bring you in. If you want to be on camera, you can. If you don't want to be on camera, that's cool too, because this is the people show. So, you know, we want the people to come on and give their opinions and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and check some of these comments right quick, and we're
Okay.
gonna reference some of these comments. Muck Muck, the general says, Whiteys and other flunky races are very passive aggressive. Cowards, really. Mm.
Mhm.
That's a good point. That's a
Mhm.
good point. You know, they did. Melanated is a respectful word that black people use. Yeah, yeah, that is true. Here's ready, steady, go. Knowing history of Black America a bit, I admire people like you. You evolutionize social relationships by showing truth and forgiveness. And you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna tell you something. That's really part of what has to be done. I mean, how much more can we do as a people? Because you got to think about it, sis. If you look at what happened with Tulsa, you know, if you look
Okay.
at what happened with Greenwood and so many other examples, I'm even starting to see where they're starting to target the graduations. I know for a fact my son's college graduation. And the thing about down here in Louisiana, jigging, the jig is just a dance that they do. But guess what?
Right.
I'm seeing people that don't understand our culture having a problem with these college kids dancing and having and just enjoying. Because think about this.
That.
That's
What
an
are they saying?
accomplishment. They like talk about act professional, act like you got some sense. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you're talking about from the college side, and I've seen even a couple of black, predominantly black high schools. You're talking about kids, but I'm gonna stay on college for a moment. You're talking about young adults. I don't want to say kids. Young adult college is hard. College is hard to complete. So if you completed college and you've walked the road and you finally got that degree in your hand, that is a sense of accomplishment. And not only is it a sense of accomplishment, let us remember the odds, especially for black men and young black women to attain a college degree are not that good in most cases. So when you find somebody that does that, if they want to start jigging and dancing and doing their thing, let them have their moment. They earned it.
I'm gonna be a devil's advocate on that one. I agree and disagree. So I do agree that they should be able to celebrate to a certain extent because that's a huge accomplishment. I get that part. But then when I'm seeing girls twerking and they're like lifting their that's taking it a little bit far to me, like do your little jig at the end, blah 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 blah. And then you could party afterwards, but people's grandparents are there. You never know, like the person you might be doing an interview with might be in the audience. Like you just have to be mindful, like how far to take it. I agree, let them celebrate. But when everybody is just kind of like dancing like they're in a club, then I'm just like, we could have probably scaled back just a little bit,
So like in other words, don't be disrespectful with it.
Yeah, like the girl literally bent over and was twerking, lifted her gown and was twerking. I think that's a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a time and place for everything. Yes, we are celebrating. This is a huge accomplishment, but that is an environment of professionalism. So I just really feel like maybe just a little bit, but don't take it too far. Now you're getting untasteful with it.
So even at HBCUs?
Yes.
Because I know I've been to a couple of graduations at HBCUs, and most recently, like I said, last week with my son at Southern, and they announced it. They announced it ahead of time, but we gonna do what we do. And you had the frats, they started stepping, as they did it. And I don't know. I guess I see what you're saying, and you're right. Keep it tasteful. Yeah. And don't be disrespectful. Like you say, don't flip the dress up, bend over and start pee-popping and all of that stuff. But I don't know. I guess I'm in the fence with that. It's like, I guess the problem that I have is people that's not in our culture having a problem with us celebrating. And I mean, even if you just do a basic dance step, I've seen like harmless dance steps, people just doing the harmless dance steps, getting criticized. Like
now, if I see like the frat brothers maybe doing their line dance or the AKAs or Deltas or whatever, because that is a part of college. That was a part of our culture, so it was really nothing distasteful with that. Like I've seen them do that at restaurants or certain events and things like that. So that's fine. But I just feel like there should be like a level, of how far to really take it. I love seeing them, how happy. I love that they accomplished that huge goal, but it could have been just a little
tone
bit.
It down some.
Yeah.
Shouts out right here to Ready, Steady, Go. He says, as a Russian agent, once again, I admire Black Americans like you. Wish my people would have strength and wisdom like you guys. You're strong people. Thank you. We appreciate that. I mean, you know what? It looks like right now the climate of this country is just it's going into different steps because it's like every week is something new. We're coming off of the heels of the Carmelo situation, and then you go from there to the controversy of the Give, Send, Go, and them raising $600,000 for him. Then the following week or week after, you got Shiloh Hendricks with her calling that little kid the racial slur, and then $700,000 was raised in support of her doing that. And now Black fatigue comes up all of a sudden, and now after that, right here in my own backyard, the plantation home, not even a good 35, 40 miles from me, burns down. And you literally got a dividing line between people who are upset that it burnt down, but everybody else like us is like, I got no feelings towards this, and I've passed that plantation home many a times.
So the people that are sad that it burned down, like, why? Is it because, I mean,
They're
I'm
they're
confused
they're
about
coming
that.
out. They're coming out. A lot of what I've been seeing is they're coming out talking about it's a piece of history. But my thing is, when I see somebody reference history with that, that tells me all I need to know, because the
Yeah.
history of how those plantation homes were built, the history of, what happened to the people that built those homes. You talk about, kids were used as alligator bait. You talk about the women who were abused. You talk about the men who were sodomized and buck broken and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a history that I think a person with class, I don't, I'm gonna just say it like it is. A person with class ain't gonna celebrate that history. Let's just be
Right,
real.
right,
You know,
right.
we ain't rocking with that. We
I
ain't
don't want
rocking with
to.
that
I
at
don't
all.
want to keep being reminded every time
Right,
I pass that
right,
house,
right.
because if you think about it, it even though our ancestors built it and we know what that came with, but it was the
Yeah,
white man that was laying comfortably in that
right.
home as well. It was a lot of just bad memories. I don't want to think about that when I'm driving past there. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that it burned down. I am.
I'm
It's just
gonna
what
just
it is.
be 100. I'm numb to it. Like, I'm not gonna say that I'm glad, because it wasn't like I was, oh, please let this thing get destroyed. I've never thought about it like that. I'd be lying if I said that.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I ain't shedding no tears or giving no sympathy because it's gone. I
Yeah.
could care less. And I
Mhm.
passed another one today because, like I said, they're all over around here. They're all
Mhm.
over. So I've gotten so numb to those plantation homes and those antebellum homes that, I
Mhm.
normally don't even pay attention. But now, with the attention of Nottoway that just burned down, I'm passing and looking, and I've looked at one today that I passed, and I'm looking at the big mansion, but then I'm looking at what used to be the slave house. You could tell it was a slave house
Mm.
because it was the old
Yeah.
rundown shack on the side.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, you know what? The hell with this.
Mhm.
Like I got
Yeah.
no love for this. Like, if this one here would be destroyed, oh well, it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm wishing for it to happen, but at the same
Right.
time,
I understand.
if it happens, the hell with it. I ain't got no feelings
I
towards it.
even feel some type of way when I pass cotton fields to this day. Like when I'm down South Carolina, North Carolina, and I'll pass the cotton field, it's like it does something to me. I know there's no one specifically, no slaves or anybody picking the cotton, but it's like, my God,
Right.
just I remember when I passed one, it was like maybe like 3-4 years ago. And I'm like, damn, they still have cotton fields. Like just, like you just with technology and everything like that. I it's in the past. Like I don't think about that until you actually have to ride or drive past one and see how far it goes out and think like, wow, I wouldn't be. And it's so hot outside. If I had
Right.
to do that, I ain't gonna lie, but I probably would have been in the house though. But still,
Right.
like it's just ridiculous. I
Right.
don't want to drive past something like that. So I'm glad it's
And
down.
and real quick, let me give a shout out right on cue. Our bonus mom, Miss Linda, with the $20 dono. Thank you so much, Miss Linda. Listen, I just want to let you know.
Oh,
I talk with D off and on over the weekend, and just want to let you know we still praying for you. We're glad you're okay, and we pray that
yes,
everything turns out good with you. And just thank you for everything you do for the show. And you know what, Miss Linda? Thank you for your son. Thank you.
yes. I don't know how you did it.
She said that. She said that. She's out. Listen, the words and the views of how you did it are the opinions of Shy Blue and Shy Blue only. Larry Frank Jr. did not
Bro,
say that.
you gonna really throw me under the bus?
You
Really,
said it.
bro?
I ain't going against my boy. Like he gonna see you about that. He gonna see you about that.
I'm like, really, I can hear him now. Really, shot. Yeah, I'm glad to see she's
Yeah,
doing better.
absolutely. Shouts out to J Book, man. What's up, J Book? But
Hey, Jay.
yeah, it's an ugly reminder. It's an ugly reminder. So I
Yeah.
mean, we just gotta just cope with it and deal with it, and then we gotta look at the climate that we're in right now. We gotta recognize that, you know what, this is just a real unfriendly climate that we're dealing with. But I think we have to be ready. We have to be ready for whatever's going to come our way. And it used to be just the guys, but women have to be ready too, because now women are, as we've seen in the past,
But
women are
how would
targeted
you
too.
ever? But how can you ever be ready for that? Like, I don't think that's even possible. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you just never could prepare yourself for that,
You
because
got
9 times out of 10, it's coming unexpectedly. You could be at the grocery
well,
store, you could be pumping your gas, walking in your own neighborhood, walking your dog at the
you
dog. You could be anywhere.
you have to keep your head on a swivel, and I know it's not cool, but you have to keep your head on a swivel, and you got to subconsciously in the back of your mind be expecting something at any time.
Yeah.
That's I'm like what you said, and credit to what you say. I've been like that as well. Like, how can you be ready for craziness? But
Yeah. And I didn't even
you're
tell
not.
you, bro. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nah, you good. You good. You're not looking for nothing to happen, but at the same time, you just have to be ready. Like, I'd rather be cautious and nothing happen than to be relaxed and get caught off guard. You know.
Yeah.
This is a good point right here. Black women have made themselves public enemy number one. Ooh, they did. Hold up. They did. I'm gonna put the link up. They did. If you don't mind,
I need to hear that one because
if you don't mind, they did. If you can, the link is up. Can you please click the link and come on live? He says via their activism. Could you please click the link and come on live? Because I like to get a little bit more clarification on that.
I want to hear what you have to say about that one.
Yeah.
But
Even if you want to turn your camera off or whatever, however you want to do it, man. If you want to come on, please come on and talk to us about that.
But just the other day, my son got pulled over by the cops, and he FaceTimed me before the officer got out. And when I say I was so terrified, I was out eating with my brother, and he was driving my brother's car, and we didn't know the tail light was out. He was like, my son was with his friend, and he's like, Mom, the cops behind me. The cop. Like, I've never seen my son in that much fear. And my heart just dropped, and I instantly prayed. I said, Lord, please protect my son right now. It was a Caucasian woman, and she didn't really have a lot to say, but my son was very honest. He was apologetic, and he was just like, just to see that fear though. And as a mom, like, I just want to put him in a room and lock the door. Like, I don't want him to, it's fearful. I'm scared to death. But she let him go. She was nice. And he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna chill for a little bit in the house. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. He was coming from going out to eat with his friend. And it was just like that instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says I can type better. Thank you for the offer. Well,
they did.
Here we go. Okay, so he's gonna go. He said, but yes, it's black women. It's black women as the race loyal, pro-black activists most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's true.
I would say this.
And we speak up more.
Because in reference to your son getting pulled over, mine got a ticket a couple of months back, about a month, maybe 2 months ago. But you got to remember, he's got the benefit of having a mother that's in law enforcement. So he kind of knows, he's kind of come up and he knows what he can do, what he can't do. And to an extent, he knows what to recognize as far as the person that's pulling him over. Because over the years, she's been able to serve as an example, and he's seen many of her colleagues to know good from bad. And plus, he's got a monotone personality. He ain't gonna get out the way.
Yeah.
And even though everything was cool, they did says black men are more chill than black women. Even though he got the ticket and everything was done and he, it was passed, when we got the phone call that, because immediately he called, me and my wife went to a basketball game. One of our bonus nieces, they played in the state championship game. So we went support her. We were coming home. He called, I'm getting gas. He calls us up. I've got him on the truck, on the phone in the truck. I say, hello? Hey, Dad, Mom, Dad, I just got a ticket. Like, okay. Right. I immediately was like, she was cool being the law enforcement. Me, I'm just thinking, okay. I put myself in those shoes like, okay, you had to deal with a cop. And it's so scary because I think one thing we have to understand, not all police officers are bad. It's how they're portrayed. The media highlights the bad ones. But what I know, you got way more good ones that outnumber the bad ones that we see on social media. The problem is the ones you see that's bad makes it bad for all of them.
Yeah.
And you may have a good one that has good intentions. It's like the old phrase, the good has to suffer for the bad.
Yeah.
And that's what's unfair to a lot of law enforcement, because I know quite a few good ones. And I've been in other places, and even without my wife.
Yeah.
I've been by myself, and by dealing with her with law enforcement, I know how to approach them. And I can be like literally just wherever. And a cop is there and I'm clowning with them, white or black.
Right.
And I can read them, and if they laughing, we have a conversation and clown like we know each other. So, I mean, social media portrayal definitely has a lot to do with it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, because a lot was going on before social media was even around. There was no platform. No one was able to show what was going on. I remember even seeing this young guy got pulled over, and the cop stole like $2,000, put it right in his pocket, and said, "No, you never had any money." And end up finding the cop had all this money in his pocket, like just little things like that. Like, but he was recording it the whole time, So it's like it comes from being tired. People are tired, so it's like this is a way we can speak now. We can show people what's really going on. But like you said, it's a lot of great cops that's out here. I'm friends with a lot of cops, from all different backgrounds, different cultures, all that, but I dealt with some officers that were very rude, and so it just is what it is. It's just really unfortunate, and I thank your wife for her services as well. I really do.
Yeah.
I know it's terrifying for you as her husband every time she leaves the house.
It is because I mean we were talking earlier when I was on the way home. She was still out in the field, and she was telling me about some of the people that she had to go deal with. And the thing about it is, the one thing I could say about her is she always made it a point to get along well with the community. And if there were other officers, white officers or whatever, that had to deal with a situation, she would always, be there to help let the community know and relay to the community, like, hey, these guys are on your side.
Yeah.
And she does her part. She does her part. I want to highlight what Joseph Bernard says. He said the good ones have to check the bad ones. That is true.
That is definitely true.
That is 100% true, because you got a lot of them, and I hate to say it, contrary to what my wife does with relaying the good ones that she works with, you have a lot of them across the board, as we've seen. Brothers know they dealing with some stuff, and they will not acknowledge it. And I mean,
because sometimes it might be the sergeant that might be that way,
right?
It might be a group of them, and it's them against you. So it's like you got to realize what they might be facing. What was that movie with Denzel Washington?
Training Day.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he wasn't racist or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, for an example, he was treated like anything, the white guy. He was like, I want to be a good cop. I'm not trying to do this and that. Shut the hell up,
Jake, in that movie, Jake wanted to do the right thing, and I mean, I think that's a great example. Denzel in that movie was like, yo, he was crooked like roach legs.
Man, listen. Even in Baltimore, when we had all them cops taking money, drugs, setting guys up, I have a few friends that actually was, like that as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tight situation with that, but overall, we just got to be able to figure out how to do better ourselves. Ready, Steady, Go says, do you think this topic, same sort of BLM post-hype reflection? It could be. See, the thing about BLM BLM was intended to work in our favor, but it just totally went left. It just totally
Yeah.
went left with so
Yeah.
many things because I hate to say it, but the rioting in a lot of cases, that
Mm-hmm.
that didn't help the cause. That did
Yeah.
not help the cause. It's like, how can you call for a change? How can you call for better conditions?
Mm-hmm.
But then y'all tearing shit down.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's just
I'm just
ridiculous.
I'm just at a point where I'm hopeful that we can do better. And I think deep down inside we can. We got it in us to do better, but we got to make the decision to want to do better.
Yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
do. But it's going to take a lot, and it's I think with this generation as well that's coming up, like my kids, my son's age group, it's like I feel like they got into a point where it's like, if it doesn't affect me type of thing, that I'm just going to just keep doing my own thing. They kind of, I see that, it's like, man, whatever. That was back then what y'all was dealing with, like, until it happens to them. And then that's when I feel like things are occurring, but our young kids are so quick to call the white person racist or anything. It's like, oh, you racist, you racist, you racist. And it's like, sometimes if you're doing certain things, you're wrong. That doesn't
Yes.
mean that they're racist. Like, you have to understand, if you're speeding, going 95 miles per hour, you have no license, and you get pulled over, and the cops say, I gotta take you to jail. Oh man, you racist, record this. It's like, come on now, like,
you're out of pocket.
Right, you can't expect to get the respect if you're doing something, like you said, out of pocket. Now, if you're actually doing the right thing, or even if you're not, it's the way you do it. It's the way you go about it, like,
Right.
as far as how far the officer can take it, how
Yes.
rough they could be. You're taking it too far. Like, they did something wrong. Okay, just put the handcuffs on them, lock them up. You don't have to shoot them, taser them. There's other ways to go about certain things before it gets to that point,
I can tell you this. I had that conversation real quick before I want to get to that point, but I also want to highlight something, because this is something that you can talk to directly, being from this area.
Yeah.
Ready, Steady, Go says Baltimore. By the way, how real was The Wire?
It was very real. It's very, very. I mean, guys are not walking around with big shotguns just trolling the street like that. I mean, you might have a few that might be doing certain crazy things like that, but it's pretty real. It's pretty real.
Yeah.
Baltimore is a crazy city. That's why Shy is in Florida.
Baltimore, I've heard so much stuff about Baltimore, and I mean, but you know what? It's just different levels. It's just another inner city that has the same dynamic. The stuff you got going on in Baltimore, you have on a bigger level, or even a comparable level as what you have down here around New Orleans.
Yeah.
Chicago, Houston, Dallas,
California.
all your big cities, urban areas, you have the same stuff.
Anything different than any other ghetto area city.
Right.
Occurs. Every state basically has a Baltimore. It's it's just sometimes Baltimore, they just don't know when to stop. Sometimes it's just really crazy. So, like, young guys there, they wear the ski mask 24/7. Doesn't matter how hot it is, how cold it is, they're wearing ski masks inside the store, at the gas station. So you don't know if you're about to get robbed, or it's just a guy trying to get something to drink out the gas station. Like, 90% of the young guys, what we call the YNs, they wear the ski mask all the time. All the time.
And you see, that's one of the things that really has to change is.
So just imagine, like, my son's friends coming down for his graduation. I was like, ain't no ski mask coming nowhere. As soon as you get off on that airplane and come off, I don't want to see none of that. That's off.
So that's part of the fashion.
Yes, like, hands down. Yeah.
Wow.
Every young man you see, they will 9 times out of 10 have on a ski mask.
But we wonder why we get viewed the way that we get viewed.
That's
We
what I'm
wonder why people look
saying.
at us, the way that they do.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at Ready, Steady, Go. He says, "Oh my God, I'm scared of coming to America. Baltimore now seems like Gotham." I mean,
but it has some nice parts of Baltimore. Don't let that scare you away.
yeah, did brings up a good point. Should be illegal to be masked. Go ahead.
I agree. I definitely agree. I do. No question.
We had, I don't know if you heard, sis, but it made national news. We had 10 inmates down here in
that
New
escaped.
Orleans. They ripped the toilet. Let me tell you something. They ripped the toilet out of the cell, and 10 of them. They caught 3 of them. They still got 7 of them on the loose.
You're lying.
No. It's national news. This happened on Friday. It happened on Friday. I was on my way home. My mom called me because I'm all up in the I'm all through the Ninth Ward, all different parts of the city working. And my mom's like, it was like 5 o'clock. My mom calls me. She said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm on my way home." And she's like, "Well, did you hear what happened?" I knew what she was talking about, but I played stupid. I said, what happened, Mom?" She said, 10 dudes escaped the jail and they armed and dangerous. You be careful. I'm like, we'll be all right. But yeah, they
All they gotta do is go to their baby mother's house.
Look, one of them got caught this morning. He went live on Instagram. See, a lot of them are stupid because one of them, he went live on Instagram.
You was lying.
No, I'm serious. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. They had one of them went to Royal Street, which is down in the French Quarter. That's one of the worst places you can go if you escape from jail. You go to a tourist section, they caught him. They had the one that went live on Instagram. They caught him. But they still got 7 of them on the loose. The thing about it was Orleans Parish, they were gone for an hour and a half before Orleans Parish notified NOPD.
What?
Yes, because NOPD and Orleans Parish have this beef going on.
Oh,
and the consensus theory is that Orleans Parish didn't want to let NOPD know what was happening because that would have been scrutiny for Orleans Parish, for the sheriff's department.
Wow.
So it's wild, man. Shout out to Jamal Davis. He said it's everywhere now.
I'm surprised they even in state. I'm surprised. That's crazy.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna escape, if I'm gonna take that big risk, best believe I'm gonna be out of here. God.
Yeah.
Like I would be like in Nebraska somewhere, like Idaho. I don't know. Like maybe not that because I don't think it's a whole lot of black people. But yeah, I'll be somewhere else. I promise you I would. That was crazy.
Ready, Steady, Go says my little brother's Nana was black. She took care of him that much that he raised a really good boy. No smokes, no drinks.
Hey,
always at school. Hey, and that's a testament. That's a testament. Shout out to the underrated darkness. Great evening, first time. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you for being in.
But it's kids raising kids, Larry. A lot of these kids that's growing up are being raised by kids. I'm telling you, like.
Oh, you're telling the truth. I see it firsthand. And the thing about it is the kids that are raising the kids now, they don't have the nurturing aspects like you or I had or my wife had because they're letting the tablet be the babysitter.
Absolutely.
My thing is, I can remember, I'm sure as you could as well, you come home from school in elementary school, it was homework time. They had structure. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Chris Kane. What up, Chris Kane? How you doing?
Hi, Chris.
They had structure. We had structure coming home. Like I could remember when I came home, I was allowed 30 minutes to unwind, watch cartoons or whatever.
Yeah.
Get a snack. But then after that 30 minutes, it was homework time.
Right.
And I had to do my homework. And then my mom and dad would check my homework, make sure I had it done. If I had a test the next day, they'll go over everything, all the material to make sure. And you just had a better dynamic. Like now I'm seeing where so many of these younger parents, the kids come home, like the younger parents, if they work, because a lot of them don't work anyway. But if they do work, the kids will come home and they won't even, do your homework. but they won't follow up to make sure they're doing the homework.
Homework. A lot of these kids don't even come home with homework. That's another
Well, that
thing.
too.
The
Yeah,
school
yeah,
system has changed so much.
that's
Like I
true.
remember
Yeah,
being in school and having 8 classes, and all classes I have homework.
yeah,
I'm writing in cursive. Kids don't know how to
yeah.
write in cursive. All they know is electronics and on the phone, a tablet, things like that. But I was watching something on Instagram the other day about those shows that the babies are being so addicted to, like
Hmm.
Baby Shark and Miss Rachel and all that, where the government has designed for certain colors and shapes and numbers and sounds to, I guess, touch certain parts of your brain where it causes an addiction.
Right.
And it's causing ADHD, ADD, like it's ridiculous. But I seen another video where a kid was crying, and as soon as they heard the sound of that specific show, they were like happy instantly. It was like a drug. It
Hmm.
was like a drug, like, but it's like parents don't want to be bothered with their kids.
They don't.
So it's like,
They have
go
the
be,
babies. And
let me get on social media
yeah, that's
while
that's
you do your own thing.
yeah. Ready, Steady, Go says it's 6 a.m. in my country. Have to leave. Please save the stream. Thank you again for such real conversation. God bless everyone. Hey,
God
Ready,
bless you
Steady, Go.
too.
Thank you for joining us. Don't be a
Yes.
stranger.
You
Hit the
gotta get
like,
on next
subscribe,
time.
notification. Yeah, we got to get you on because we really want to have you, come on and express yourself from the other countries and see what we got going on
Yeah.
different from, the
Where
other
is he
customs.
exactly? Where
He
is
said
he?
he said he was Russian Asian. That's what he said. He was Russian Asian.
Ooh,
So 6 a.m. So he's definitely across the globe. So hey, y'all,
absolutely.
world talk. Look, real talk is worldwide. You know what I'm saying? We we
I'm
over there.
adult sad. Mm-hmm.
Son,
Mm-hmm.
husband, woman's little girl
Yep.
always become adults. Yep,
I was
yep.
talking about that. Yep.
The kids are raising themselves. They're just
Yeah.
raising themselves. And the thing about it, we talked about it before on past shows. You don't have the more social skills.
None
The
at
kids don't know how to play, in the playground together, nothing like that.
all. Mm-hmm.
Pay attention when you go out. I watch this all the time. Okay. If you go to a park or if you go to any kind of event and you have a group of kids there, maybe not
Mm-hmm.
the little small toddlers, but maybe the 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, pay attention to how many kids you'll see doing this number right here.
Yes. I just seen it the day before yesterday. Like seriously, it was a couple and their son was in front of them. They were talking and the son had the tablet on the thing and was just not
Yeah.
talking at all. And then they grow up with social anxiety, don't know how to interact. And I pointed out to my son, I said, look, they're not even interacting with their kid.
Right.
Like automatically, like I'll be on my phone sometimes, but then at a certain time, like at least by the time the food comes, all right, put your phone away. How was
Yeah.
your day? What's going on?
Absolutely.
Like talk to me. Talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
Right.
that was very important. And
Yeah.
like I think that's the one thing that I hate when I have a gathering with mine. Of course, they're
Mhm.
all grown, but it's like, look, y'all are grown. We don't see each other. We're not around each other like we used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to put these phones down. We need to have family time. Let's
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
And you might scan it as one thing, but you're not gonna be sitting up here eating and we talking and you just scrolling and this and that. I get
Yeah.
sick of that. It
Yeah.
just burns me up.
Yeah, I mean, even as adults, though, like if you think about it, because I remember I spoke to a therapist one day, but she was just saying like ways to strengthen your relationship with your significant other is to take the television out the bedroom. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like instead of just sitting there whole time, either you're on your phone or you're watching TV, take it out, talk, converse.
Right.
Like those are different ways to do it, even out your kids' bedroom. Take the TV out. Like take the computer out, put it in the office, put it in designated areas. But they probably will go crazy. Knowing some kids that I know that they would
I will
probably wouldn't know what to do.
let me get to this point right quick, but I'm gonna give you something off of that. Underrated Darkness says no direction at all, more trauma coming out. When I
Yeah.
was coming up, Mannheim Anaconda women accountable. Also, men hold women accountable, women who made accountable, but definitely it's not happening now. So basically, there's a lack of accountability that's being held. But what I want to highlight is with the television, I'm coming out of my era where my television, I'm talking about my teenage years, not so much my elementary school and middle school, but my teenage years, I had a TV in my room, video game, all of that stuff. The difference, I think, with me, with my setup back then compared to this generation now, I turned it off. There was a time where I turned it off and actually went outside and socialized with my friends.
Oh
Went,
yeah.
called girls on the phone, went and met girls face to face. Like, you have this generation now, they won't do that. They would literally, we had to go through the rigors of actually having to ask a girl out face to face. Like, you had to go through everything. You had to beef yourself up and pump your head up to be prepared if she told you no. Now all you do is you text them, hey, you want to go to prom? Yeah. Now some of them might go through the little special thing where they video it, but that's for social media. They showing out where they bring the cake and all of that stuff. That's for social media purposes. But most of the time now, ain't nobody asking nobody out to dances or nothing like that on purpose. They're doing it over the phone. You remember back in the day, boy, you like, what happened? You in a hallway, right? And you waiting on him to come to you at recess or at lunch.
He was
waiting. That?
Yeah, he was waiting on me, but yeah.
He was waiting.
Yeah, he was waiting. I ain't wait for the boys. But go ahead. I understand what you're saying though.
Yeah, either way, you had to put in that work. Like, you had to.
I was being courted. You it's like the kid version of being courted.
Yes.
You want to go sit next to me at lunch at the lunch table. We always sat together. Recess, we're together, or after school, we're going on a date or for whatever. But they don't have that now.
Right.
They don't have that now.
Chris Kane says no phones at the dinner table, not in his house. Softer side of CC says my oldest child didn't get a TV in her room until she was 13. There you go. Yeah. I was like 15 when I finally got mine.
But I bet you even then, when she turned 13, she probably didn't even realize, but she probably wasn't even watching the television as much because she was so used to probably not having it, which is good. So good. I like that, Mom.
Right.
I love that.
I like that. That's old school core values that you don't really see too much no more. So you got to bring them back. You got to bring them back. But on the subject of this black fatigue, I mean, my thing is, I have it to an extent, but I just don't like the fact that it's being masked for racism. In other words, if you want to have but here's my thing. This is what really stands out to me about that. Hold up, I see JD. JD, we don't have the phones on our side. We got the link. I put the link up. So if you want to come on, JD, just hit the link. That's this link right here.
And you don't have to show your face.
Yeah. You don't have to show your face, but just hit that link, Jamal. And if you want to come on, man, we're gonna bring you in where you can go ahead on and get your thoughts. But I'll leave it up for a second, for anybody that wants to come through.
Okay.
But the problem that I have is when they say, because I've seen where they said with black fatigue that they're tired of the complaining, they're tired of the victimization. And my thing is, you cannot get angry and upset at black people for being tired and voicing our exhaustion, because what more do you want us to do? What more can we do?
Right. But are they complaining about other cultures that are tired of the certain racism that's going on in their countries? Are they talking about that? Like, why do we have to stop? And be quiet and shut up and sit in the corner type of thing. Like,
well, sis, think about this. I mean, I'll go to the governor in your state. JD's in Florida. D, all y'all could, reference this.
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis with critical race theory taking it out of the schools. Okay, a couple of years ago. Think about this. Critical race theory was put in place to educate future generations about the psychology behind what happened with the racism, with why slavery and everything happened, with the history of the mistreatment of black people. but they want to take that out of the schools. They don't want the young kids to understand that. You know why? Because this next generation of younger child or younger kids or whatever, if you educate them, it's going to be harder for them to be taught to hate, because DNA, we've all seen it before. Kids don't see color when they're in the sandbox.
Right.
Kids, black, white, Asian, Mexican, they'll play in the sandbox in the playpen or whatever at the playground or whatever, and they don't see color.
Yeah.
They don't start seeing color until they get older. Why? Because hatred is taught. They go off of what they hear. So if you start teaching critical race theory and you start teaching it to a whole new generation and they start picking up, guess what? Now you start working towards ending this racial divide and ending racism. You see what I'm saying? So, and then follow it up with the DEI stuff that you saw from the president. I mean, DEI, let's be 100. In the grand scheme of things, DEI didn't benefit black people. The numbers already proved it. DEI benefited white women.
That's true.
You threw it. Yeah, you threw DEI saying you hurting black people, but in actuality, DEI was more beneficial to white women than black men or black women.
Yeah. Facts. That's crazy.
Antonio Abner, what's up, brother? What's up?
Hey, Antonio, how are you?
Camera footage can't be negated. I mean, that's true. I mean, you can't deny what you see.
Yeah. It's every day.
It's every day. Yes, sir. You already know. So that's where, and when people talk about, when we talk about what we don't like, that's where I think a lot of the racists are getting pissed off. Because they know we're telling the truth. They know we're legitimate in our feelings. They know that we're legitimizing how we feel. And they don't want to hear it.
I agree and disagree, because I feel like some of them have been so brainwashed, and I don't want to say certain things, but been raised from racist parents, and their grandparents may have been racist. So a lot of them don't see and really comprehend that what they're doing is hatred and is racism. Like the lady that was on the news, I think it was on CNN. She tried to give first she tried to sugarcoat it and use all these large words to make it seem like, I'm sticking by my white community, and we just, I just want to support them too. And the guy had to stop, the white guy. He was like, Are you a racist? And she was like, well, I guess I am. And she admitted it, like just plain out as day, like, but she tried to say, well, I guess I am if that means me supporting my background and my culture and white people. Like, she tried to still sugarcoat it, like, no, you're just racist. That's just what it is. If you're okay with the woman calling a child, you know what I'm saying? That word, the N-word, no, it's no right in that. Like, in your right mind, you should never think that was right. You understand what I'm saying? But I think some of them don't really see what they're doing is wrong at all, Larry, because they've been manipulated and brainwashed from their parents and grandparents and their ancestors for so long. They feel like what they're doing is the right thing to do. So some of them don't know. True.
They haven't been taught. They haven't been taught that, this is truly wrong. And they feel deep down inside that they're justified in doing it. D said that was on the Piers. He said that's on the Piers Morgan show.
Yes. Yeah. It was crazy. When we get off tonight, I want you to look it up.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna definitely check it out. The problem that I had with that situation was it's a 5-year-old. But my thing is, you justified your racism by calling him that word. But how could you call him that word? He's acting like a 5-year-old. Now, I'm not saying the 5-year-old was right. He shouldn't have been trying to take her stuff. But how many 5-year-olds have we seen over the years? I know all the time I could be somewhere. I could be out eating. I could be shopping. I could be at an event, a social event, and you see these little badass kids, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to call you, another kid a racial slur. I might call you a bastard or something like that. But other than that, that's because of your behavior. That's not because of your race.
Right. That's just crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen other races have kids and they fall out on the ground and screaming, hitting their parents, cursing at them, spitting at them. Hello?
And they don't do nothing.
They don't do. Stop, Billy. Billy, you stop me. Put that down. You know, so. All right. That's my opinion.
Shit. I remember one time I was acting out in the grocery store. My mama backhanded me into the bread. I hollered at her.
At least you had some cushion.
I hollered at her. I was like maybe 7, 8 years old. I wanted something. I can't remember what it was. I wanted something, and she told me to shut up. And I seen another kid of another race acting out. So my little dumb ass thought I could get away with it. I said, well, I want it now. Bam. Knocked the piss out of me. Before I knew it, I was falling on that bunny bread back in the day. And I learned.
And I bet you never did that again.
How did she? Who? Not me. I don't play with my mama.
This culture, like this generation now, certain kids, 911.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much in my business, but yeah, it got called to me one time, and the officer looked at me. I looked at the officer. He said, "All right, have a good day. I don't see nothing wrong here," and kept it moving.
Yep. Shout outs to Day Did. He said all of this was get back for Carmelo Anthony, and that's facts because look at the timing when it happened. It happened literally a couple of weeks after the Carmelo Anthony situation came out. So, and speaking of which, to get back to him for a second, a development in what's going on, they allowed him to graduate. He got his high school diploma. He couldn't walk across the stage, but he did get his graduation. He did graduate, get his high school diploma. I'm seeing he graduated with a 3.7, but there was a lot of people on the other side that was pissed off. They said they didn't want him to get his diploma. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if you're mad about the events that unfolded, that's understandable. Feel how you want to feel. I don't care what he did at that stadium to that other kid. That boy earned that diploma. He did his 4 years of high school, and if he graduated, guess what? He earned his diploma. Now, whatever happens with the judicial system moving forward, we got to wait and see. But come on now, you really?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they didn't keep that from him, though. I really am. If they would have tried to keep him back for that, that would have been very sad. But
right,
you know. But I'm glad they did that. But to the respect of the other family, because she can't see her son graduate, so my condolences still to that family, the other family as well. I don't want anyone to think that we're sitting up here on this platform just to bash other people.
Right.
It's more to educate and to inform and to really know how it is from our side of the world,
right.
And some things are experiences that we personally went through. So we're able to speak upon that. But I just don't want anyone to think like this is just a show we're bashing people.
Right.
It's all about informing and educating. And, that's why it's called Real Talk. This is the opportunity for us to be real and tell you exactly how we feel and what's going on in our mind and how we feel about the situation. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick.
Absolutely. And one other thing I want to put out real quick on a side note, we want to shout out all of the graduates of the class of 2025, college, high school, heck, kindergarten, it don't matter. If you graduated in some form or fashion or capacity for 2025, we salute you.
Yes.
Also, if you graduated or if you have a graduate also, because this is what we want to do, we try to give everybody their shine over here. We'll put the link up again. If you want to shout your graduate out, hit us up. We'll be on here for a couple of more minutes. Hit us up.
Can I go get my son real quick?
Absolutely. Do
Let me get him real quick. Okay, hold on.
Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we do, man. We try to make sure we show up. Absolutely. It's their time. It's their time. It's their time. So definitely, because it's a special time. It's a special time for everybody. So shouts out to everybody in the class of 2025. Tremendous accomplishment, tremendous achievement, and shout your graduate out. So that's what we're doing over here. We're waiting for the here we go.
Yeah, put your headphones on.
Live. There he is.
Say hi, son.
What's good, Nelf?
Cool.
Cool. So we want to say congratulations. We're shouting out the class of 2025. As we understand, you are a member of the class of 2025. Enjoy your moment. Man, I gotta ask you real quick. I'm gonna ask you real quick. How you feeling? How you feeling right now before you walk that stage? What's going through your head right now?
I'm not gonna lie. What's going through my head? The hardships, you feel me? The challenges, the overcoming, I mean, the responsibilities. Everything just kind of coming to mix together. You feel me? I did a lot. I went through a lot to get here where I am now. I mean, it's never easy, but it's never too difficult. You feel what I'm saying? There's a will, there's a way. I've been going by that since 9th grade. There's a will, there's a way. I want to pass something, I'm gonna pass it. I want to get somewhere, I'm gonna get to it. You feel what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
I've been clean, feel me? Ain't never been no arrested, none of that. So the fact that I was still fighting through the different little difficulty, whatever. Proud of myself. Feel me? Proud of the people that helped me.
Absolutely. Well, you should be proud of yourself, man. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. You're getting all the shout outs. I'm gonna put them all here in the chat. You can see everybody sending shout outs. Congrats, Jay from D. Antonio Abner with congratulations. Be proud of what you did, bro. Be proud of what you did. And what I love what you said, that you're gonna do what you gotta do, and it's only the beginning, man. So
for sure. I'm just getting started, y'all.
Absolutely. Enjoy your moment and soak it all in, because I'm gonna tell you something.
Look, he got awards. Tell him about your awards.
What we got?
So this was an award of excellence for digital informational technology.
And he has a certificate. Tell me.
Salute.
Oh, it's the same thing, but this is just the printed copy. This is the metal.
And he has a cord for it.
The whole cord, the whole silver cord.
Hey, just the beginning. I love it. I love to see this positivity, man. I love it. Nice. I'm gonna make let me go ahead on and make you feel good right now. You're about to graduate, and I'm going. Oh Lord, I graduated in '95. I graduated 30 years ago, so.
So happy, yo. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what?
It's supportive. I love
it. Hey, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So when they call your name and you walk across that stage and you hear your mama screaming and jumping, let her have a moment. Just let her enjoy it.
Yes, sir. This is all for her, for real. Everything from strength for prom and all that. It's all for her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you again, young brother. And listen, best of luck to you in the future. Everything that you do, man. You know, hit up D. Get your moms and hit me up. Anything you need, advice, resources, whatever, man. We got you, man. It's a village. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Shouts out to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And mom, you need to take a bow, mom. You need to take a bow, because you don't find too many young brothers that are focused and laser focused like that in this day and age. And just hearing him describe where he came from and where he's trying to go.
Yeah.
Testament to you, mom. Great job.
Thank you. I'm going to be a mess on graduation, y'all. I'm telling you, I am going to be a mess. But I love my baby. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. But yeah, that's my baby, y'all. Y'all see my baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, sis, I don't know, man. It's kind of quiet tonight. We ain't getting no live from the people. So it's it is what it is. But
sometimes, honestly, when it's quiet like that, it's probably because people are really. This is a heavy
taking
topic.
it in.
It got to take it all in and come into reality. It's all we're on social media. We see a lot of great things and we see a lot of sad things, but no one really speaks about it a lot. And here on this show, we say things that people want to say, but they don't feel comfortable. I don't want to say scared. Yeah, they're uncomfortable saying it. So
and that's understandable.
It's time and place, and the floor was open, but sometimes it's a lot to process.
Oh yeah,
it's our reality.
Yeah,
this is our reality.
It's an uncomfortable topic, and we get it. But we still thank everybody for being here, being a part of it. Anything else you want to touch upon, sis? Anything you got? I think we're gonna get on up out of here.
No, not really. I think, like I just said, what exactly how I felt. Like as far as tonight, it was a deep, topic, and it touched me. It touched me.
Yes.
But I think we
Absolutely.
did a great job. And yeah, that was my little words, my 2 cents.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go ahead on and real quick. Let me put let me see if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put the email up right here. If you got any topics that you want us to discuss or anything you got for us that you want, those are our emails right there. Hit up either Shy or hit myself up.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you may want to get involved. If you got something going on that needs to be addressed, this is what
Let
we're
us
here for.
know.
Let
Let
us
us
know.
know.
You know, we can't
Yep.
do nothing if we don't know about it.
Exactly.
And like I said, I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we got. We'll be back in 2 weeks on this show.
Yep.
On the sports side, Friday night, D and myself will be running the Hurricane show.
And it's Memorial Weekend, right?
It's
This
Memorial.
weekend, yeah.
Yes,
Memorial
it's
Weekend.
Memorial Day weekend.
So
And
please be
then
safe out there, guys. Everybody.
yes, please be safe. Next Tuesday, we got the Winning at the Game of Life show with our guest from the last show, Miss Sean. Oh, sis, real quick, did you see the promo for that show yet?
No.
When you see the promo, I gotta get with D, man. He got a pro. Sean, like when I said she was, with the steel, like the gun.
Yeah,
There's a picture in there where she's got that AR and she's like
really?
She don't play from what I saw. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to get in touch with her anyway because I want to take some classes. I want to
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably have my son take some classes too. But he's about to go to the military, so he'll be all right. But yeah, they will take some. Yeah. I can't wait to see it.
Oh yeah. That'll be next Tuesday. We'll be talking. She'll be talking about the good and the bad of real estate, everything that goes along with the good and bad being a realtor. Because in the real estate game, we always hear about the good stuff, but we don't never hear the bad. So she's gonna give us $100,000 on both sides. So we got a lot of stuff we're working on over here.
And so now, guys, you can't say you didn't know something. So we're giving you the resources for you to be successful, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago. This is a way to step it up. So don't say we didn't tell y'all.
Absolutely.
Because I'm definitely going to join.
100. And we got so much more that we planning too. So it's a whole lot of stuff that's in the works and it'll unfold. So I think that's it, sis. I think I'm giving your final departing words. Any more departing words you want to give, or you said your piece?
More. I said my piece.
I just try to make sure because I don't want you to come back and be like, I wanted to say that.
No, I said my piece, guys. I did. I definitely did.
All right. Well, my departing words are going to be real plain and simple. Once again, shout outs to the class of 2025.
Yes.
Enjoy yourselves. Have a happy Memorial Day weekend. And overall, with what we're doing, with this climate, with everything, just be wary, be careful.
Yeah.
And just, no matter what, keep your head up. Don't let none of this stuff get to you, So that's all we got. So we're going to put a bow on this thing. So y'all know how we start every show.
And how
we end every show.
Yes.
Ain't no us
without you, baby.
Oh yeah. Much love to y'all. It's real talk. God bless, and we'll see y'all in 2 weeks if the Lord says the same. Y'all be good.
And hold y'all kids a little tighter today. Please do.
That's right.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right. Peace.
From the heart of the city to the edge of the world, telling stories of black kings and queens.
It's you talk, baby.
Every topic, every voice, like a new kind of pearl. Shining light on truths to make the future swirl. It's real talk, baby. El Frank and Shy Blue coming through, baby. Real topics, real stuff for the people, baby. Buckle up and let's roll with real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. And it ain't no me without you, baby. It's you talk, baby, and it ain't no me without you, baby.
It's you talk, baby.
Kings and queens, we're both in a fur.